What's going on, guys? I got my great friend here today.
What up, what up?
Liam Shore, and he is one of the most talented motherfuckers I have ever met in my entire life. And dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude, the one thing about my camera though is whenever I put my hand up, this thing tracks, bro. And that's what is annoying as hell. This guy is one of the most talented people I've ever met, and he is going to be, in my opinion, the future of film. We kind of talked a little bit before about like aspirations, what you want to do and things like that. For your ultimate goal in film, like what is it that you want to do as in like, okay, this is going to make me feel satisfied with film in my life and I can drop out and retire right now. What is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think for me, I kind of have a better idea of what I want to do now that like me and Kyle went to Chapman together, so we did 4 years of film school, and that kind of like helped me see what the industry was like a little bit, as well as just like being on set in LA. But so I'm a cinematographer, DP, but I also direct, and I first AC, which is like pulling focus for people who don't know that. There's no like autofocus obviously in like the film industry, so that's what a first AC mostly does. But yeah, right now I've been focusing more on like fashion content, as well as like commercial work and just music videos. But like long term, I'd love to shoot movies like everyone does, of course. But it's hard to make money.
Yeah,
you know, it's really hard to make money.
It's that time, man.
Like the union is really difficult to join for DPs and stuff like that. And for the union stuff, you just have to be super niche and kind of only do one thing. But right now I'm directing, shooting, and then ACing a little bit, so I'm trying to figure out like if I want to do union stuff. And I don't think I want to like be in a mailroom necessarily, you know, like I want to just try to keep making stuff,
definitely,
and like see if it works almost. But yeah, there's definitely like a million different ways to be successful, so there's not like a right answer.
Yeah, there's never a right way to go about things. Like, I think we're all trying our own thing coming out of college, and it's like, what the fuck? We're all gonna just fucking throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, you know? Release your creativity in a way, or you're more of a collaborative effort based off of the artist, or...
I just love, like, the people aspect of it, you know? Like, being on set for any reason. And it's, like, it's obviously way better when you get to work with your friends, you know? Sometimes you don't get to work with your friends and everybody's 40 years old and you are all nervous and shit.
Yeah, but you gotta be a little bit more professional.
Yeah, totally. But I love, like, the best feeling is when you can just be on the headsets with your homies and just kind of, like, chop up some jokes but also be focused.
100%.
That's kind of what I want to do. And, like, the reason I want to direct more is because I have so many talented friends like Kyle and a bunch of other guys. And I feel like I can kind of get people together. So like for some of the car stuff, they literally like stripped the back seat out of the car, both seats, and put it on the stage so she could like move around without the ceiling, you know.
But then it made it look like it's
kind of though. But they like were going for like the poor man's process look on purpose, where like you can see the lights, you can see everything, going on. Like for this part, they literally took out the back seat. Like I walk in the other room and the whole car is just being dismantled. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Like it was just cool for me because it wasn't even about Addison Rae necessarily. It was more about the guy directing it, who's really cool. He's just a cool DP director, and his style is so different. He's directing the video and shooting it and pulling his own focus on film, which I've literally never seen or heard of before. And it's just so unconventional. Like that's like nobody will say, "Oh yeah, that's smart. A smart thing to do is pull your own focus." But he just did a movie called The Sweet East, and it was on in Cannes, I think.
That's huge.
And like, it's like a lot of the shots are like kind of out of focus, and you're like, "Huh, I wonder why." But that's why. It's like he literally just loves the run and gun kind of style on that.
But dude, Netspend is like, in my opinion, like he's really blowing up right now. Like
it's crazy.
And do you feel like, at least for your work and what you're trying to do, as in getting your name out there, that you need a celebrity that's like kind of blowing up more, or somebody who's already been established? Or
I feel like getting somebody before they blow up is kind of the move.
Yeah.
Honestly, because like
yeah.
I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to reach out to more people. This video was sick to work on because like it was so low budget, but it feels like high budget. You know what I mean? Like they really like maximized everything. I think
that's what you guys are good at. You guys are good at literally working with nothing and making it magic. Like you don't. This stuff with these like this is I feel true working towards getting great art. You know, like versus being on those other sets where you have to follow. Okay, this is for money, as in like okay, we're gonna follow this and formula. Keep it a formula. This is like we're gonna go from a 2 and then whatever. Versus being more creative, and then you can be like, this shit is what I fucking like to do, and
so for all the hair stuff, so like
dude,
like
those
this
shots are insane.
Like a lot of people thought it was like VFX or whatever, but no, it's like everything's practical. They had this crazy car with subwoofers like everywhere in the car, and it was literally the loudest noise I have ever heard in real life. Like I didn't even want to get close to the car because it was so loud. Like it would just vibrate your entire eardrum. And I think they were so he wasn't even wearing earplugs. Like she was, the girl was, but I don't think he was, because he was in the shop more, so like you could see his ears. So he's just getting blasted with that, and then like smoking a blunt, and the smoke is just getting forced down his lungs because of the bass. Like
the subwoofer
it'll just like force smoke in your mouth, which is wild.
And age, do you feel like?
Do you like shooting on stage or no? Like, would you rather be in a real location?
No.
Rather be on stage. I mean, some people love shooting on stage. Like
screw the stage, man. I want to be location. I want to be on location. Like, I mean, it's great to be on a stage. Cool, it feels awesome. Everyone's really there to focus on whatever. But like that, they're flying you in and out. No, I want to be once I'm off of work. Like, okay, I'm in a beautiful location in a different country. Sipping wine, like anything like that. Just anywhere that's not my current house or like a holding room or something like that where they're going to keep you there and it's like an office.
A long time ago, a couple years ago, but it was just funny story because like I randomly thought of this idea. Like clothing stuff is so weird because there's no rules or there's no like like
there's not
like
much.
These clothes have nothing to do with what. Like it's just like random, but I love how random it is. And so Zed and I made this video together, just us and one other person, I think, and I was like, yo, like we should get like a data unit thing or like and like we wanted to rent out like a studio that had like
a whole
all that
room,
stuff, but
room
we
kind
couldn't.
Of thing.
Yeah, like we couldn't find one, so we were like, Zed was like, yo, let's just go buy one, like, and I'm like, what do you mean, or rent one? I'm like, what do you mean rent one? We go and like offer up or whatever, and like find this guy with this thing, and like it's so heavy, dude. It's like 500 pounds, like.
Jeez. And like I've been bothering every single Dodge kid, I think, like at Chapman, like, yo, like, you guys know I'm there, but I'm not a part of Dodge, but like I'm still like I do this shit, so it's like. If I'm not doing anything on my, regular day, I'm like, yo, you, like, let me know, guys, like, whatever. Yeah. And the fact that, like, it's nothing against Chapman kids or anything like that, but I feel like they should be reaching out, like, yo, like, I think you can, run this, and that's why whenever anyone reaches out, I'm, like, ecstatic. Do you feel like watching your work back, like, do you always, I mean, you were mentioning earlier, I feel like I could have maybe been a little bit more in focus or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so hard on myself, as you should be, I think, but, like, each project is a project, and you're going to make more projects, so it's not the end of the world, but, it is the end of the world. but no, like, it just feels like, you watch your work, I'm sure you do the same thing, you're like, I wish I said that line a little slower, like, I wish I projected more on that, but it's like, the world moves on.
The world moves on. They're not going to care about your performance as much as you care, so... Dude, no, that definitely...
But I love when my friends, like, or people give me actual criticism, and they're not like, it's sick, dude, it looks great. Like, I one shot we did, that was it's this shot, I mean, it's a long shot, but...
That one's
like,
insane. You said, how long did that setup take just to like even...
It was quick, like, honestly, because I got my boy Harrison, shout out Harrison. He's key grip, and
he's good.
He just knows, like, I was like, I want to do the shot where the camera swings over the bed, and he was like, I got you, how big's the room, what are the, blah, 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 and we made it happen, and we tried to do, like, some kind of transition here, and, like, on big movies, they'll do, like, sunrise blue hour and then sunset blue hour, and then they'll do that over and over and over again to make it look like it all is happening at once during blue hour, because they have the time and the money to do a whole scene at blue hour, but like multiple days.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's the big stuff. But when it comes to at least me and my experiences with blue hour, I was doing the Yellowstone stuff, and that was like early morning. Like this is like
4:30.
This is like fucking 5 a.m. like 4:30 in the fucking morning. And not only so since it's blue hour, everything has to be rehearsed so fucking well to the point where it's like, okay, once this shit starts and once we start fucking filming, if anyone fucks up and if it's you fucking up, you're like, oh my, like don't mess up because you only have so many takes to go. And I'm one of those, like, I'm not needing to be like all in character, like thinking about whatever.
What do you think about method acting? Do you ever do that? Or no?
So that's what I feel like is my acting. It's 100%. I'm putting myself in that moment, like trying to just think of whatever. But it's all based off of, I try to base it off my real experiences, with hanging with homies, with hanging with ever. So I'm always about like, go to do whatever. Like,
what's it like when because I know acting is so like different for everyone, but like I'm always curious, like, what's the moment when like, what do you feel when like the AD comes in and they're like, all right, it's time, like get out there, and you've just been thinking for the past 20 minutes by yourself, like, oh, how am I gonna do this, blah blah blah. Maybe you're saying it out loud to yourself, or like, what is that the moment where you're like, all right, it's go time, like, and there's like 100 people on set on the stuff you do, like, it must be like super nerve-wracking, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like,
in the beginning of the day, it's definitely nerve-wracking. Like the very first shot of the day, it's just like, I think just like everything, you know how you just kind of need to warm up, you need to like, okay, just like, even just to like go through the motions with the camera or something like that, like to know, okay, I'm gonna stop here. Like, everyone needs to, I think, warm up throughout the day. So like the first shot, I feel like, pressure a little bit, like I get a little, heart starts beating a little bit, but then afterwards, like once I start filming, I'm like, okay, I definitely know that I know my shit. Like, it's more just making sure that I meet everybody's standards. It's like, all right, bet. But the second I'm not on camera, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm on my phone, playing games. Like, I don't need to be thinking constantly or whatever. Just when they say action, I'm there.
You're there. Yeah.
I'm there. I'm in that moment. I don't need, like, I could be, if it's the most dramatic scene on the planet, I could be happy 3 seconds beforehand. I could be like, oh, hell yeah. And then they say, I could be joking with somebody, ha ha ha. And then they say action, and then it's just like,
this was a fun project because it was just like all underexposed, and it's not all like, correct, if you will, like for what you're taught in school, I guess.
Dude, it's
like,
never
we shot in
like
this parking lot, and it was just like green, and I was like, I scouted the parking lot, and I was like, oh my god, it's green, like this is dope. Like, why did like most people would be like, ew, green, But I'm like, I love the green stuff,
Dude,
it's just such a different vibe.
When I saw this project, I was like, you killed this.
We did the wet down, and like everyone's pouring water, everyone's pouring water all over the ground and stuff.
Dude,
and I was like, the producer's like, oh, I don't know if we can do the wet down. I'm like, no, we gotta do the wet down. Like, and I started. I'm driving around Los Angeles, like I see a location, and I'm like, I want to shoot there, like, and I'll take a photo of it, and then I have a folder on my camera roll with all the locations that I want to shoot at, and you can just have the location of, the map on there. So this is one of those moments where like near Orange, you're driving to LA, you see this like flower patch on the side of the freeway, and it looks so weird. Like, it's just so weird. And I was like, yo, that's like kind of dystopian. Never seen anything like that before. And so I would drive by it a lot, and I was like, I need to shoot something here. So I hit up my friend with the clothing brand, and then I went to go scout the location, and it was flourishing with flowers, so many flowers. And then 2 weeks later, like, we go to shoot the video, and like half of the flowers are gone, like dead. I made it look like there's a lot of flowers, but
that looks like it.
But there wasn't. Like, I mean, like, when I scouted it, like, it was full of flowers, and then I came back and I was like, damn, like, it's kind of dead or whatever. But it kind of worked out anyways. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Literally, like, got kicked out like 3 times while we were shooting this. Like, I'm going for this first shot, and like, the security comes up and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, oh, like, it's a student project, blah blah blah, like, you know. And we were able to get an extra like 20 minutes to film. And then like we're there for like 45 minutes, and so they come back, like, we're still here, and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And then we were like, we tried to get another 10 minutes, and they're like, nah, you need to leave. So then we went back in his room, then we came back out to shoot this part. I love the like elevator thing.
Dude, that's great.
But like, we were shooting this last shot, and they came out again, and they were like, what
again?
Like, doing? Like,
we just have to do this. Like, you don't understand.
You know, late school project kind of vibe. That's what we. If you guys ever need an excuse to get out of a situation, just say you're making a student film, you know. Go to
100%. No, it's just a student film. It's for a project, school project, you know.
Yeah.
Were you ever one of those guys for like, if they ever gave you a video option, you were like, hell yeah, like, I'm taking the video option, making a movie? Or
instead of
an essay?
Oh yeah, easy, bro. Easy,
dude, I would be like,
so many of those.
Hell yeah, dude, give me that. You know, let me do all that stuff.
Dude, yeah, I had to make for one of these classes I had to make a 20-minute long video about a problem at Chapman or something, a problem in the community, and I chose parking, and so I had to make a 20-minute long video about Chapman parking, which was really hard to do. I mean, 20 minutes. 20
minutes on Chapman parking, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's insane. Like,
I would have gone off on how they randomly give people tickets and like, why do we need a permit?
Yeah.
You know, like, what's with the permit stuff? Like,
well, there's just no parking. Like, you know. It's
and that too.
Like, there is, but there's not. You know, it's like.
Nah, definitely.
So hard.
That stuff is different. But
this was one more thing I wanted to just show, and maybe we just played in the background while we talk. But like, this video was super. This is like my favorite video I think I've ever shot, and it was two years ago. But like, just like, you know how so many people try to do the love interest thing with like videos, like
as in they're trying to go after the other guy or something like that.
And like, this was that, but done in such a different way. Shout out Cole, the director, Cole Hanauer.
This was Cole's project?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Like, you know, and this is his house, or his old house, like this shot right there, but we shot at some other places, like, this is different, but I just love like how it's different. It just feels a little different than most.
Nobody's really like, they're not really it's not like they're doing it with their whatever. It's with their eyes. They're not with their emotions.
It's not like they're just like kissing on the bench. Like, you know, it's like a lot more involved. My thing, it's the same thing. Like, you click on the little GIFs or GIFs or whatever, and then down here is some fashion photography that I have done before.
That stuff is, it looks, dude, this website is this is amazing.
And then like, you click on the video and it just brings you to the video with some of the stills, but yeah, it's like pretty simple. Like,
I wish I could create a website like this, dude. Like, if you
can, bro, Squarespace.
Dude, I know.